What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Ammo Test Series number 5 for 40 Smith & Wesson. Now, we've been on a roll with Underwood for videos 1 through 4, but now it's time to go for some Barnes. This round here is the Barnes TAC-XPD. It's a 140 grain solid copper hollow point going at an advertised velocity of, you can probably barely see it on the box, but it says 1120. It's got a cool little hologram on the box, and as I move it around, you should be able to see it change from unaffected to about halfway expanded to all the way expanded. Cool little thing to put on the box, in my opinion. Now, Barnes makes some really cool solid copper bullets. They really perform well. They usually uniformly expand all the way up to 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum type bullets. I personally have a couple magazines of this loaded up right now. I've been carrying it for years. I really like how it performs. Let's see how it does in gel, on the chronograph, on paper, and all that. I just want to point out that deep hollow point real quick. I love it when things resemble flying trash cans. The firearm we're going to be using is a 4.25 inch Smith & Wesson model M&P40. That's a Gen 1. We're going to be sending 5 of these things into this B8 target with this pistol, hopefully getting into this X-ring. We're going to check accuracy. We're going to also use a chronograph to get an average of velocity and foot-pounds, hopefully. Then we're going to move the chronograph to right in front of the gel to hopefully capture the velocity of the bullet as it impacts the gel. As far as the gel, we usually have 2 blocks, but today I don't think we're coming out of this one at all. We have a 20-inch, 10% clear ballistics gel block. It has been hit, but that should not affect this test. All right, we have 5 of these copper monsters loaded up. Let's see how accurate we can get. Or how accurate they are. Or how accurate I am. And I forgot to mention, I'm 20 feet off the target, 15 feet off the chronograph. That was in the X ring, and it was 1021. That was a little bit to the left, 1029. Feels very nice in the hand, not hard to shoot at all. And that was 1043. We have 1021. And we have 1057. Let's go take a look. So in my opinion, that's not very good shooting for me. I usually don't do a halo type of a group. I have one here, and then I was stringing along the X circle. Not bad for defensive shooting, definitely in there where it needs to be. I consider anything within this type of a size to be just fine. However, I have seen much more accurate ammunitions. But honestly, this is not a typical group for me, especially if you watch the videos, you'll notice I usually have a group somewhere. With this gun in particular, with Underwood ammunition, it was making 2 separate groups. So this is totally different. I think this is probably ammo related. It could be me, but I don't usually ever do the stringing type of thing. That's usually indicative of somebody who keeps peeping over their sights to confirm, but I honestly have that front post right here, and it is centered in between these 2 10s. I can see that. This could just be that ammo. All right, approximately 15 feet off that gel block and chronograph. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. Should be a good hit, 1026. $10.26. Got right where we wanted to. Doesn't mean that the bullet traveled in the path that we wanted it to, but we have a very nice wound channel. It's that spirally type of almost jacketed hollow point type of wound channel, except for this is definitely a solid copper. You see it took an immediate nosedive though. It collided with one of the old wound paths, but no big deal. We have an exactly 10-inch landing point for that. Hope that translates on camera. There's not really any bounce back that I see. When those pedals pull back like that, they definitely put the brakes on things, but a nice wound channel until then. Now, I will say 10 inches is a little bit less than ideal as far as penetration in my opinion, but like I said, it's backed up by a decent wound path. You guys are going to see the slow motion to see the temporary wound cavity, but hey, at least we're halfway through. From the top, again, we see a good spirally wound path. You can tell that those petals opened up and did some cutting on their way through. I'll try to get the shadow out of there, but not bad looking at all. And then it just comes to a stop. You can see maybe a tiny bit of bounce back. If I turn it right there, you might see about a ½ inch at the most of bounce back, but that thing's landed face forward, petals all opened up. Let's get her cut out. And camera guy's over there looking at the slow-mo footage right now. He said it did give the block a little jiggle wiggle, so that's something. All right, there we go. We got it dug out. It still has a pretty deep cup in it. We didn't get complete uniform expansion of all these petals, but still not that bad. They're very sharp, I can tell you that. We have a lot of base left on here. I'm sure it didn't lose any weight, but we will have the diameter up in the corner. Looks good on the back, nothing deformed that bullet. Like I said, with that open cavity right there, we do have more room for expansion and for things to happen. Check out our video with this round where we put it into a 400 Legend cartridge. We did push this thing pretty darn hard. I personally would have liked to see just a little bit more penetration, and I would have liked to see a little bit better accuracy, if that's actually the ammo's performance. Well, there you go. We got the information for you. Use that information as you see fit. And now that we have 5 of these tests compiled, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 40 Smith & Wesson, look out for a video coming up real soon where we're going to be testing all of these in low light, actually dark conditions. We like to do low light testing so that we can see how all these ammunitions will perform if we had to use them in a completely blacked out or at least low light condition. A lot of time from ammo to ammo, there can be a completely different flash signature. There's the argument if it could temporarily blind you at night. If it matters, I don't know. There is the whole, like I said, argument about it, so stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comment section if you use this ammunition. I know it was available a lot during the whole time when we couldn't get ammunition, whatever you want to call that, the BS time, but that was available on a lot of store shelves, so a lot of people do have it. I see it floating around still to this day. Like I said, I have a few magazines loaded up. I think I might unload some of those, but in general, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Hope you found this video helpful, and if you did like it, maybe you can share it with somebody else who might like it. Give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing that. If you are subscribed, check the notification bell. Sometimes things get a little bit funny with that, but you don't want to miss anything that we do drop that's new. We don't only do gel tests on this channel, we have a whole bunch of playlists. You should check them out. We do all kinds of stuff. And for anybody that feels compelled to help support the channel, we are on Patreon, and we have the join button turned on for YouTube. Thank you to everybody that's already there in both places. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you at the next one, and until then, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting.